from Trish. So I would like to ask you, how did you find Team, and why did you start working with them?
How did I find Team? How did I find Team? So Team was Atomic 20, and I hired them in my last role, and I'm trying to think of how I found them. They might have been a referral. It's a while ago. I can't remember, to be honest with you. That's terrible for a marketer to say, but I can't quite remember how. Maybe it was probably a referral, because, even my office mate is best friends with Trish. Like, Trish knew a lot of people that were in my circle. And so that's probably how I initially found them. And what was your second question?
So do you actually work with them?
Team?
Yes.
So I did. So I was a client. So I referred them. I ran a marketing team in my last job, which I left a year ago. And so I brought them in to work with some of the other marketing directors to help support some of their projects. And now, since I'm not, so I left that job a year ago, again, to find a little balance and kind of joy. And now I've done actually some work with Team as a contractor. I did some messaging things, which is okay. It's kind of interesting. Oh.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you have another question?
No. I'm going to ask you now. So what's unique about working with Team?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing. What was the first part of that?
What's unique about working with Team?
What's unique about working with Team? Unique. Trish makes the company. I think, I don't know if there's anything else unique about Team besides Trish, to be honest. It's her person, which is hard, I think, because, as somebody that's played in that space on both sides, from client side to owning an agency and being the connector that pulls people in on projects, like, that's a tough role. She's incredibly smart and articulate, and I have a lot of respect for her as a marketer. The rest of it, I don't know if anything is, I used to like Allie, who was a project manager, but like the rest of it is just, it's all the same pool of talent. So I don't know. She's unique. Like, it's her. It's not the rest. It's just her.
What do you think about the Team's business model?
I think it's challenging. I think that the business model. This is confidential, or
yes, it's absolutely confidential. So I will ask you some personal information at the end, but I'm the only person who will know that. I will delete the information from the file, so there is no way to identify you.
I think the business model is really hard. I think it's hard to. Now she might be able to bundle it and sell it, but I feel like when you're working with so many resources and you're working with fractional project managers, I think it's challenging because clients ultimately buy the salesperson, which is Trish, and then you're pulling people in that aren't working necessarily holistically. So, I've only had one experience on the Team side, and then of course the experiences I had as a client, I would get pulled in when things weren't working because I was so busy like I was spread across 30 brands. So, I think it's, I don't know if I just think that it's hard, to work with different talent unless you're working with the same kind of crew.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think with the client, from what I've seen, like, it's hard for them to have to explain. You really have to have a good project management team to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
But again, from a selling model, if the idea is to package and sell it, if you've got those resources and stuff, I guess that would be okay. But yeah, I think it's hard.
Mm-hmm. So, what should team focus on to improve their effectiveness?
I would say communication.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah.
So, is there any problems with communication?
I mean, I don't think that anybody's a bad communicator, but I just feel like it's like I feel like it's a fractioned approach. Like, it's not quite a unified. It doesn't feel like a unified effort. It feels like it's like pieces and parts
Mm-hmm.
of a solution.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way, because like I said, I love Trish, but I give her credit for trying to manage all these clients and do all this stuff, and she works really hard all the time. So, but I just think it's, you know, you really have to have a good project management team to make that pop.
Mm-hmm. Great, thank you. So when you work with a group of people, what are the key attributes of successful teammates?
In any team, or just their team?
In any team. So when you work on your projects.
I think to have a successful team, you have to understand everyone's skill set, and their capabilities, and again, be able to, communicate the client's vision across that entire team, to make sure that, you're delivering what the client wants, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The right solution.
Okay. Are there any specific factors or behaviors that come to mind when you think about successful teammates?
Are there any what?
Any specific behaviors or hard factors or soft factors that you need to have?
I think flexibility and listening skills and mutual respect are really important skills to have.
Mutual respect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what are the key characteristics of people that you try to avoid working with?
I try to avoid people that have too much ego around the work. There's a difference between being proud and being center focused.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I probably avoid that. I avoid people that don't like to learn or listen. I avoid people that are aggressive in their communication style.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Okay. What's the difference between working in a team in the freelance world versus traditional work environment?
Working in a team in the freelance world, you are the one that's making a choice. You're making a choice with the clients that you take. You're making a choice, so with the business that you take, you're making a choice with the resources that you pull in, and you're making a choice with, you make the choice of the people that you work with, and if you have been around the block for a while, you know when to let things go, or people go, and when to, keep, hold on to them for as long as you can.